So I got my scar through having a spinal fusion in 2012. It was basically a gradual process injury through chefing and then massage, which is both of my careers. And then after having a bad back for a few years, I went to a physio who then referred me to a specialist who then referred me to a spinal surgeon. And that process took about 1.5 years, so there was a lot of pain involved. And when I finally got the surgery, I was up and walking the next day. And I guess when I look at it, it just reminds me of that time, being in so much pain and not being able to do a lot. Mobility was quite reduced. But it also kind of marked the point in time where I was able to look past the pain and towards my future. So my wrists were a carpal tunnel issue that I had from a very early age of 16 when I was a chef. And it got to the point where I couldn't even open Christmas presents on Christmas Day, which was just heartbreaking. So I went to another specialist and he referred, this also took a few months, but he referred me to a surgeon, and I was awake for the surgery and it was all very new and scary, but
so it's from a condition called hidradenitis suppurativa, which is like your glands, and they go through phases where they kind of network underneath your skin and they blow up. And then, so I've had 3 ops actually, and they cut all the glands out, your nerves. I have no feeling in those areas, and then, not that you can really see it now, but they graft them, and so they dig it all out, graft it, and it grows back out.
It came from a mole which had changed. It got darker and slightly bigger, and I went to the doctors who transferred me to a dermatologist who snipped out the mole, tested it, told me it was then melanoma, and they had to take 4 inches out around it.
I don't even know how old I was, but I was at my grandparents' house, and it was like a real old style house, so they had the old school glass, so it has no panes in the middle of the ranch sliders. And I'd got my new goggles and I put them on, and I was going to go swimming, and I ran straight through the glass door and cut the tendons and everything, so when I went in they had to open it up and put a metal plate in my knee.
So I was on a little friends trip up in Rotorua with my 2 best friends. So on the last day, half an hour before we were due to drive back down to Wellington, my friend was leaving on the bus, and it was pulling out and she was crying. So I thought I'd be really cool and really funny and jump up and down on the side of the street, flat street, there's no steps, there's just the curb, and then just as the bus is actually pulling away, I'm following it, I don't even realise that I'm following it, I'm going off the footpath, and then I missed a step, and then I landed and just landed wrong, so my leg just went like this, and then I just crashed it. Yeah, and then they took us to the hospital. We went in the ambulance. It didn't look like it was broken. It just looked like something happened. We didn't know what happened. Got to the hospital, and then they sent me for scans, x-rays, and then I wasn't in that much pain. So I didn't think it was broken until they told me that I had pretty much broken it in the worst way.
Well, I got it when I was 1.5. I was walking around a thermal area in Takano, which is in the central North Island, and I was walking across an unstable path, and the path gave way under my foot, and I went through the path into the boiling stream underneath. And I got stuck inside the path, and my foot got cooked, and I spent, I can't remember how long it was, a couple of weeks I think in Tamanui Hospital getting skin grafts. It doesn't look too bad now. It's kind of grown with me, so it was quite bubbly and really obvious when I was younger. But as my foot grew, the skin kind of stretched out. So.
Well, my first scar is when I was 4. I had open heart surgery, so they had to go around my back, around there, and open my rib cage to go through there. Yeah, the guy that did it, he actually planned it for my future, the way the scar went. So when I get older, as a teenager, I can hide it with my bra. My other scar that I have is my breast cancer scar. I had a very slow growing cancer, and they took my breast off, and they also had to put a port in there to the chemo to go through my body.